Where's
had
your
a birthday
sister
too.
live?
So it's my sister's 60th. This my mom and
Oh,
her both have the same day, September 9th, 9/9, but it's kind
they're
of unique.
both 9'9", and your sister was
Yep,
60 and your mom was,
86.
oh, 86. I was thinking it was also like a milestone birthday.
No.
No.
Anything after 80 is a
Oh
milestone,
yeah.
isn't
Well, I
it?
guess so, yeah.
She doesn't really want to celebrate them, so we made her
Oh,
a
that's right. She's 14, right? You made
Yes.
her the
14.
14
Yes.
cookie.
And yeah, and
Yes.
we brought it over. She was confused. She's like, I'm not. She couldn't see the one because we were outside the window wearing our mask a little bit, singing. She's like, I'm not 84. And then I brought it and she looked at it like, oh, that's right, I'm 14 now. So
She
Oh,
appreciated that for
nice.
sure.
we've
Oh,
been,
nice. I bet she did.
yeah. So it's been a nice visit so far. In the last 2 days, we've done a lot of yard work. There's some trees and shrubbery she wanted taken down along her driveway because she was out in the
Mm-hmm.
country. And if you don't periodically take them down, everything just kind of closes in.
Right, right.
So
And they were big trees, and they have these like grapevines that I mean they don't produce grapes, but they'll grow 40, 50 feet
Right,
from the ground
right.
into the tree. You basically,
And
the
that they
tree.
strangle the tree.
Yeah, you
yeah,
bet.
Yeah,
and the roots are, as big as my wrist, some
right,
of them,
right.
but yeah.
So do you have a chainsaw out there?
I did for the tree.
Yeah,
She has an electric chainsaw, which is perfect for how much we use it. And I mean, that's what
right.
we have at home too. But I mean, if you're not, they work fine for how much you use them.
I
But
mean, I'm a city person, so I don't have anything near a chainsaw. I'm like lucky I have a hammer.
hammer and a screwdriver and a couple wrenches.
And I live in a condo, so I don't have any yard work
Any yard
or
work.
anything.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was good. It was good labor though. Like she's like, "Oh, I feel so bad. You guys are working." And I'm like, "This
Mhm.
is great, right?" When you cut down the tree, there's nothing that's gonna fall on except
Right,
for other trees.
right.
And there's a big field. We're just, I don't know, we drug it like
Yeah, we're just creating a big pile.
just a big
Yeah,
brush.
yeah.
It looks
Are
so good.
you,
though.
are you, oh, I bet it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Are you thinking of changing your plans to go back to Portland because of the fires? Or I'm sure you
No.
probably feel one way,
We'll still stay on on course. I think. I mean, it seems like I'm really glad we don't have to deal with the smoke.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm hoping maybe by the time we get back, which we don't anticipate to be back till October, so there's still a good amount of time that
there's
hopefully
still a
lot
couple
of
of weeks. Yeah.
that, yeah,
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
blow out.
Okay.
It sounds like it's calmed down a little bit. I mean,
Today,
the
yeah.
winds have calmed down, so I don't know it's hard to get news here. You have to go on the
Yeah, it
internet.
is hard to get news here. I mean, it's hard, like, obviously I'm talking to these guys every day, but otherwise, of course I thought it would be the top story in the Washington Post, and it's like story
No.
number 6
No.
or 7. I mean,
And it's old. It's old. So I haven't today, but every day I've kind of checked the map, which I
Mhm.
see that you've moved off from level 1 to nothing now, Lake Oswego. So they've kind of like pushed it away. But I don't know, what's it like out there, Dave?
Yeah, that's, what you said is, Laurel, you guys both, is really interesting because my parents had no idea what was happening.
Mhm.
And then my brother, I was on a group text with them yesterday, and my mother asked Doug if he had heard about Portland, and he said, "What about Portland?" So
Yeah.
it's really kind of shocking to me how it's a big deal.
It's a
And-
big
But
freaking deal. Yeah.
But they're putting Antifa on every time there's a
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
fire downtown.
So mad. Oh my God, that makes me so mad. I just cannot even get over it. And some idiot woman on some message board had said something about, well, there's no protesters now because of all the smoke. And I was like, fuck, that's like the most irrelevant thing you could possibly say. I have noticed now, this is the first moment that I came outside. I'm in my studio and it seems to be a little bit better. And I'm a few minutes late because I was watering and putting out birdseed. Astrid's little message that she sent to me yesterday must have done something because I've seen several different kinds of songbirds that have come back.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's still really smoky though. I have no idea what the sky looks like.
Well, and
it's
I've heard both Portland and Vancouver, BC now is also, because we get Canadian TV, and that's kind of where some of the news besides online have the worst pollution in the world. Those two cities have been
Yeah,
like,
that's been Portland. for
it's
the
like
past
Vancouver, Portland, and then the
days.
rest of,
Yeah.
Beijing and
Yeah.
Right. All the places that normally have that terrible.
yeah,
it gives you it gives you an idea though, just how
Bad it
bad
is,
that must
yeah.
feel there.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, the day before yesterday was so bad that just standing in my backyard burned my lungs. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I've never felt anything quite like it. It was bad. I mean, I was wandering around like, like this, pulling my shirt up just so that I could get into the house fast.
yeah.
Wow.
And our house is older. Our house is like 53 years old this year. So we never had the windows replaced. It has the old single pane sash windows.
Mhm.
And there are definitely some gaps. We've gone around like shoving wet
Towels and
paper
stuff.
towels,
Yeah.
Yeah.
little wet paper towels down in the cracks, and putting up like those. We have, as most people in old houses have, those door snakes. In the wintertime, we shove them
Yeah.
underneath the doors to keep them,
My-
and it
yeah,
seems
my
like
mom
every
has
time
them.
you seal them, it doesn't last very long. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like I said, it is a little bit better down here today.
And there's no rain
Oh, I
or
think my internet's,
freezing out.
it was supposed to rain tomorrow night, but now it doesn't look like it's going to. And now they're saying that it's gonna rain maybe, what does it say? Thursday, we have little thunder icon, which is no bueno. Friday rain, and Saturday maybe rain.
But not a
Not
significant.
soon enough.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So Laurel, to answer your question,
I mean, the thing that really worries
we're not
me
changing
about-
our plan. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying, are you changing your plan at all to,
Yeah, we're not. I mean,
Laurel,
there's
you're frozen.
am I frozen?
Not for us.
she's not frozen for us.
Oh, must be Dana.
When are you heading back?
Beginning of
weeks.
so we should be back by October 6th or so. So
Okay,
we'll
so
be
still
here.
another couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still got some hanging out to do.
Yeah. Some
And some
serious.
chores.
Yeah. We have painting to do. Yeah, my parents want the trim on their house painted, and then he cut down a tree right at the end this morning, so we have to clean up that and pull that brush.
So you'll be
Dana was
there for some nice fall foliage too then.
Yeah.
starting to change
Which is
right now.
nice.
Super
Yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it'll be
That's
it's so
beautiful.
nice here. It's
It's
so
like
nice.
70 and cool. It's been pretty nice.
Yeah.
We had a kind of exciting night a couple nights ago. So his mom's house is about 1850, so it's quite old. And
Sometimes even snakes don't fill up the gaps.
sometimes snakes. So all of a sudden, like in the middle of the night, Chris is like, "Stay down, stay down. I'm gonna roll over you." And I'm closest to the door, and I'm like, "What is he doing?" So he rolls over me, and he's on the floor, and then he like shuts the door, and he's like, "Cover up your eyes. I'm gonna turn on the light." I'm like, turns on the light, and there is the biggest bat you have ever seen
Oh,
in the
goodness.
bedroom.
Oh
Oh my gosh. And we've had bats.
Really?
Like growing up, we would have what I would
Yeah, like
consider-
little ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
this
one was
was-
like Batman. Like,
Yeah, it was like
so
6
big.
inches, 8 inches, and
And
yeah.
it's a huge room. It's a, like a converted sort of attic. I mean, it's a huge area. And we're just like, whoop.
Let's get out of here.
So we stayed low, and then we shut the door, and then we're like,
Okay, what do we do
what
now?
do we do now?
So we had to close off the other rooms. My sister was in another room, so we shut her door. And I'm like, let's open this door down here. Nobody's in it. We'll try to get it go down there. And I had to close there's some curtains that go down to the lower level. My mom uses for heat in the winter. Close those off. So I didn't want to go down there and disturb her. Of course, everybody's awake now.
Right.
And then we open up the door, and I turn the light. I'm like, where'd the bat go? So we searched for like a half hour. Nothing.
we couldn't find it.
So somehow it got, and it wasn't there last night. So somehow I got out.
But it's an old house, so the in the corner. of the
Right.
room
There could
is
be.
the chimney.
An old
Right.
chimney.
It's not working right, but it's an
Yeah.
old chimney, and the chimney has some nooks and crannies that it could have gotten behind and up maybe into the attic. There's no holes on the outside, it doesn't look like, but it's an old house. So I'm sure there's
Wasted
something.
in.
But it was so funny. So for a half an hour, he's like, you know, curtains underneath the bed, like
I'm not going to bed.
sticking.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't go to bed with a bat loose in my bedroom.
We eventually did though. Dawn, this one.
So
I'm
we
like, okay.
decided to go back to bed. We're like, let's just close the door. We know it's in here. Let's not bother his sister, his mom. We'll just leave it in. Let's just go to bed.
And we turn on a little light, and Dawn's like, okay. And for her, she fell asleep within 10 minutes, which was a long time for her. So we're laying there, and I'm like, every time I doze, I hear some hit. Actually, we had the door open. So the cats, my sister's cats were coming in and out.
That's right.
And I'm like, oh, God damn, cats are just like freaking me out. So eventually the cats are declawed, and then you hear like it's like doing this.
Right.
And Dawn's like, the bat's in the room, bat's in the room. Like, no, Dawn, it's just the cat. She's like, okay. Go right back to sleep. Don't you thought it was a bat?
I got the gift.
I
of
wonder if
sleep.
he has
I'm
any
like-
little bat friends.
And I'm like, really, what is he?
Yeah,
gonna
and
do?
even though when they're big like that, they can get into really small spaces, as I'm
Yes.
sure you know, right? So
And of course, Dawn was all weird about her getting caught in the
Yeah.
hair, the whole childhood thing.
I was like, and so his sister's like, Dawn, that's not true.
That's
like,
an urban myth.
So I just said, well, if it's not true, I'm gonna tie it up in a bun, even tighter, and then just go back to sleep.
Mhm.
It's good. So we never saw it again, but it was very exciting. It
Mm.
reminded me of being. a
Maybe
kid
it's
and, like,
still up
being-
in that chimney, just like hanging
It
out.
could be.
And that's what we do
Yeah.
have that thought.
There was rain and thunderstorm, and it literally came in like a half hour after that. So I think it might have been flying around doing its thing, and it's like, oh, they got caught in the
Duck for
rainstorm.
cover.
Exactly.
It was so loud, so much rain, but we're still there. He's gonna go back tonight,
Yes.
so you'll.
I mean,
you'll be
the great thing is that bats are just so great
there.
they're just so
Bugs.
great. Yeah, for eating bugs and all that.
Well, my mom's told me that and I think I've heard this before, that you can't kill bats.
In the sense of against the law.
It's against the law to kill bats in a lot
Oh,
of states and in Michigan. So she's had an infestation in her attic years ago, and had to have someone come in and take them. You know, you couldn't exterminate them; they had to like lure them out and then close the hole up that they were going in, because they can be
Like
pretty
bees,
nasty.
I guess. Bee
They were very
wrangling.
dirty.
they are very dirty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, bee poop.
But she's had one a couple of years ago after that, or maybe that's when she
Yeah.
discovered. And she just has these big French doors, and she just opened it up, and eventually it flew out. But just it was so exciting. Just
And
like,
do people put up bat houses out there?
Not that
No.
I'm aware
No,
of.
like
no.
up on a big tree and stuff. Put a bat
No.
house out so that.
That's what they did to get them out. They created some sort of
Yeah.
house to lure them out, and then I think
Yeah,
they
because
just-
then you get like the benefits of the bats and the mosquito
Yeah.
control and stuff. But
Yeah.
then you can put them so they're not like pooing all over whatever
In
your
your-
barn or
Yeah.
whatever.
I didn't even think. I guess that makes total sense. But we just had
Yeah, and like
all
you
the time.
put up these little bat houses, and like 100 bats can fit into these tiny houses.
Yeah.
Which is why you can have, like, my cousins had like 360 bats chased out of their attic when I was a kid. Like, it was so crazy. So
Yeah.
it was a little time travel. It's always a time travel coming back and staying at the old farm.
Yeah. What's like, do you have like a favorite restaurant or like bingo night or something like that? that you
Bingo
always
night.
do?
What do you, bingo
Like for
night?
me, it would be like
Bingo.
bingo. Going back to the Midwest would be like bingo night, fish
Yeah.
fry night,
Yep, that's true.
flea market. Flea markets and
It has
garage
been so
sales
long.
and-
Those are great questions. I think that by this point, it's just being back here. Like, we
Yeah.
go down to the lake. I mean, really, it's pretty small. So
Mm.
I would say the local bar is what I love to go up to.
Mhm,
It's a
mhm. What's the name of it?
it's called the Stone Lodge.
Her uncle, it's like Cheers there a little bit.
Yeah,
Her
uh-huh.
uncle has his picture frame in there with a salt shaker next to it because he was a regular. And so
When he passed.
when he passed, they left it up there for him. Yeah.
And
in
it was
fact,
his salt shaker to like salt
Yes.
his drink.
You know,
Yes.
the older guys who would salt their Pabst Blue Ribbon, or
I do know that. Yeah.
so the great part of it.
Or their Schlitz.
Those are
Exactly.
PBR. When he
PBRs.
passed, when he passed, the church is also in town, but it's kind of in the other, maybe a half mile away. And so we had a Catholic service. This is maybe
six, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while, 8-10 years. But so after the church service, it was an Irish processional down to the bar, and it was led by a bagpipe player, and it was
Excellent.
Oh.
Everybody should have that.
It was, yeah.
Yes.
And we don't, I mean, you don't see that very often in the US, but it was so wonderful to kind of celebrate him and go down. So we'd like to go to that bar, and then there's another bar that's in town. But I would say besides that, going to the lake.
My mom lives a quarter mile from the lake, and her parents now live a couple blocks from it now in a small town. So it's
So we go
Lake
and
Huron.
collect rocks. I got 2 pairs of juggling balls out of rocks because there's so many rocks on the beach. So don't think of it as sandy. Think of it as a lot of lake rock in all different colors.
Right.
And some of them, based on the type of rock, would just wear. So I have these great little juggling balls that I got. So we're always collecting rocks when we go down there. So that's definitely
Yeah, that's
what we
fun.
love to do.
Yeah. It's more just about being outside, and
Yeah.
it's just nice and quiet.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything. Dana, what are you looking at when you look up there?
I'm looking outside at the window and
It's orange.
Is that a sun
It's,
or is that orange?
wow.
But it's smoke. But it's much higher up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I can see it in here.
So I just kind of watch for birds and yeah.
Did they disappear for a
Just
while? Is that why you
looking.
said that?
Yeah, they were gone for, I don't even, how long have we been living in this for now? I've lost all track of time.
Almost
Yeah.
basically a week. Almost a week.
Yeah, they left when it got really bad. Like we had the windstorm, and then within very short period of time, it became incredibly smoky. Yeah, there was no bird song. When I woke up this morning, I was really surprised. I had commented to Astrid about it yesterday, and she sent me an Audubon article, and I've just been changing the water. There's one squirrel. We had more squirrels too. I don't know where they are either. And she's clearly a lactating mama. So I've just been putting out a ton of black oil sunflower seeds and hosing out the water, adding extra water dishes.
Oh,
Like I change it twice a day. And you can see the ash floating in it.
wow.
And after I get finished talking to you guys, I'm going to go out and I'm going to hose off all of like we've got a big quince bush and all of the bushes where the birds usually hang out. I'm going to hose all those down because you can see that there's ash sitting on them, and it cannot be healthy for them at all.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wonder, the guy that's staying at our place, he didn't say anything about ash, did he? It's got to be there, though.
It's really fine. It's not like, remember the Eagle Creek fire? And
Yes.
there was like a day or two there where you could see like flakes of ash. This is different. It's much finer than that.
Like a dust or like a heavy pollen or something.
Yeah, like when I went out and I just turned on the wipers on my car yesterday when I went to the store, and you could see it just kind of like poof. It's like really pale, talky, gross stuff. So.
Well, I hope it gets better out there. You guys get some rain.
Me too. Me too. I was hoping it was going to rain tomorrow. That's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it will. You know how it is in Oregon. I mean, it might rain.
And then it pours all day.
Or what?
Right. I was going to say, not having rain is not your usual problem, right?
No.
No, that's something that I've been worried about too, is the time of year that this happened. And for us, for the Oregon fires, especially the Lakeside fire, there's some really deep canyons that are up the Clackamas River. I mean, they'd be impossible to fight fire on.
Right.
And, and if it rains a lot, all of a sudden, I mean, it's just going to be a disaster for stream health. That's what really worries me too, is just when we were camping, I can't remember if I told you guys this, I always get such a kick out of this. Every now and then you'll get fish biologists, Fish and Wildlife, that come up and they're measuring the stream temperature and they're counting fish and whatnot. And this past time when we were, the last time camping, you could see them coming down the river, and I'm like scurrying out of the river and
Here they come.
waiting. I know, right? It's like, it's the ice cream man. And so I had a really long conversation with them about the fish run this year, and they said that they were counting spring Chinook, and it was one of the bigger runs that they were anticipating in a number of years. So that is just devastating to think about what, you know, how that affected the fish.
I bet.
Well, especially when it rains, like you said, when it washes all that ash and pumice and stuff down into the streams.
Yeah. So I think there's so much more to, there's the fire, and then there's the aftermath, which is going to be difficult. And then just thinking how long it took them to open up the trails at Eagle Creek. It was 2 years. And then there were idiot people. Do you guys remember idiots just like climbing over the barriers and going up to hike in areas where they weren't supposed to be? And
But Eagle Creek's still not open though, right?
I think that there was a portion of it. The whole thing isn't open to my knowledge.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
But I mean, think about all the trails that are in the Mount Hood Wilderness that are going to have to be rebuilt. I mean, there's so many of them.
And
it's going to take
closed.
I mean, the whole forest is closed. They've blocked it off. There's no 224 is closed. Any of the smaller roads, there's no access. So, which obviously is for safety, but I just think about how long it's going to take them. Years and years.
Yeah, because it's not going to be the first priority. I mean, that it looks like the pictures I've seen, Detroit Lake, it looks like part of that's just gone now in Mill City. So I mean, it's hard to kind of get a picture of how bad it was, but.
Yeah, Detroit and Idana, it seems like they were pretty much destroyed. I don't know how gone. There's so many little towns, like the little towns that are along the Mackenzie River. Gone, you know, all those really wonderful little cabins that dotted the river that Gretchen and I were like, oh my God, we've got to get back there. We need to stay on this river. So yeah, you know.
And that's the stuff we're not seeing. I mean, your local news is probably showing that more, but.
Yeah, it is on the local news, but I still think there's just like, there's got to be so many communities that we really don't know about yet. Yeah, so it's just heartbreaking for everybody, for everybody. So I guess when you guys come back, which way will you come home? Same way you went out, like down?
No, I don't know if we'll go through Montana. I think we might go through Colorado.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Probably 84.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to process. And for, you know, us who love to be outside, it just sucks. You know?
It does change it just like considering about all that. I mean, that's the aftermath. I mean, that's, you know, second of course to the lost homes and all of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. There's just so many structures that public structures, private land. I was shocked at how close it came to Estacada, like really shocked.
That's what they said. It was like a half mile from town.
Yeah, really close. I mean, and you know, right past that, when you're heading down towards the reservoir, those are big steep cliffs too. So that causes a whole another set of problems. After the Memaloose fire, 4 years ago maybe, God, they had tons of rock falls, and closed the roads there, and you could see the scars on the road from where these massive boulders just landed right on them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of work for everybody.
Well, we'll keep our eyes out there and
Yeah.
think about you guys for sure.
Yeah.
It's good that Canadian TV is at least showing you something. Thank God for
Canadian TV.
His mom loves the Canadian news. She's like, I'm always so relaxed. You know, they actually had a special star night. They're like, this guy comes on, is like, you know, Bob the Star Guy, and he's going to show you, hey, if you look in the, you know, the eastern sky, you can see these 3 planets, and like totally, it just seems so.
This is out of Toronto, so it's not a small city. It's Toronto's.
Right, right.
So it's,
Right.
I think the difference is that our media is so drama based.
No.
Where there, it's just
Yeah,
more
it's just
easy,
like
you know.
by the news cycle. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way when we were in the UK, like watching the news in Scotland is so relaxing. And the people just look normal. I mean, the female news readers and presenters look like normal people.
Yes.
They don't look like Barbie dolls, you know, with like.
No. I just said that the other day we were watching it, and there was a guy that was doing it out in Detroit, a meteorologist, and I'm like, do you have to be good looking to be a meteorologist, male or female? And then go to the Canadian one, and some 64-year-old frumpy guy that's doing the weather.
Totally frumpy. We're like,
Could have been your uncle, you know?
Right? Shirt's a little wrinkled.
Yeah.
exactly.
Meanwhile, in Detroit, the guy's like, he looks dapper, and he's like, well, we're here. Yeah.
Right.
The temperature's changed 12 degrees today. Who cares?
Oh.
That's funny. Thank you for making me laugh.
Yes, we've been trying to make each other laugh these past couple days a little bit. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.